We started na ba? Hindi ako sure to be.
Yes, start na tayo. Yan na.
Okay.
Ayan. Maayong gabi sa inyong tanan. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning into our Abogadong Dabawenyo webinar series with the law firm of Villarica, Coronel, Pojas, Caharian. My name is Atty. Lester Ople, and we have today the rest of the lawyers of the law firm, the VCPC law firm, and of course we have our esteemed guest, one of Davao's very own lawyers now. Commissioner of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Welcome, Commissioner Kelvin Lee, to Abogadong Dabawenyo.
Thank you, Lester. Thank you for having me over. No, much appreciated.
Ayan. So, thank you, Com Lee, for Com Kelvin, for gracing us with your presence today. We know that it's a weekend, and we're taking time out from your weekend for you to explain to us, updates about the SEC, as well as how the SEC has been responding to the COVID crisis. So thank you, Commissioner Kelvin, for spending your Saturday evening with us.
Thank you once again for the invitation. I appreciate it. It's a good chance na magkwento muna tayo. I'll let you know about the updates of the SEC. As on a personal note, it's good to see you guys again. I haven't seen you all in a long time, no? Mga fellow Dabawenyos, sila Jeff and everyone else. So nakakamiss din ng Davao. It's hard being stuck in Manila all this time, no? Ever since nag-start yung GCQ, ECQ na yan. So medyo nakakabato din being stuck at home the whole time.
So Kelvin, we also have here Attorney Jeff Coronel. So Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Kelvin. Kumusta na po kayo? I hope you're
good to see you, Jeff.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying your extended vacation in Manila. Then, hi Les, kumusta? Salamat din po pala kami sa aming sponsors for the show, Agora. Salamat po sa coffee na pinadala ninyo, coffee ko. Sobrang masarap. Hindi lang dumating yung kay Com Lee tsaka kay Atty. Lester. Nasa sila ngayon. Thank you very much, Agora.
Okay, thank you very much, Agora Direct PH Davao. Paki-like din ang kanilang Facebook page. Meron tayong promo mechanics na ipapaliwanag mamaya ni Attorney Jeff. So please stay tuned for that. So Kelvin, mabalik tayo sa kwento mo, no? So you've been with the SEC for quite a while, but I think for our audience, medyo hindi sila siguro ganun ka-familiar sa'yo, no? But can you share with us how you came into the SEC? Ano yung kwento mo in government service para before you were appointed to the SEC?
I originally from Davao, no? But I nag-law school ako and nag-college ako sa Manila. And then after becoming a lawyer, I spent a few years in a Makati law firm. Then umuwi din ako ng Davao after a while. And then when the President PRRD, no, our own mayor, PRRD, won, he sumama ako with his executive secretary. I was appointed an ASEC of Malacanang. So I was there for mga almost 3 years. And then this seat opened up and na-suggest that if I was interested, no, so I tried, and then by the grace of God, na-appoint ako ni Presidente. I was put here in this corporate setting. So I've been a commissioner of the SEC about a year and a half na. No? So it's been very, very different na experience. Because when I was in Malacanang, even though I was an assistant secretary ASEC, no, medyo mataas din na rango yun. But during that time, the function kasi was support. Siyempre, we're supporting the president, we're supporting the executive secretary, si E.S. Medaldea. I consider him my mentor. But so suddenly, when you're thrust into becoming a commissioner, 5 kami, by the way, no? The SEC operates 5. So there's one chairman, primus inter pares, first among the 5 of us. I'm the second most junior pala now, no? Being part of the commission now, leadership position na kasi, so completely different function. So it has been a very steep learning curve for me, no? Medyo completely new, but we're trying to make changes din sa SEC. It's a very challenging position din kasi. So, yun.
So, Com Kevin, if I may, di ba?
Hmm.
As of now, meron tayong 3 Dabawenyo sa commission ngayon sa SEC.
Yes.
Tama?
Yes.
Tama
Oo.
po ba yun, di ba?
Yes, that is correct. Actually, we don't make this public knowledge masyado kasi nga baka maraming hindi matuwa na taga Manila. But currently, we are very Mindanao-centric na. The chairman, by the way, is from Zamboanga, si Chairman Emil Aquino.
Aquino.
The senior commissioner, si Commissioner Amatong, is originally from Zamboanga, also based here na sa Manila, but originally from Zamboanga also. Then Commissioner JV Francisco, the former RD naman ng SEC Davao, is our third commissioner. And then myself, I'm the fourth, taga Davao din. And then finally, so Commissioner Carlo Bello, no? So our most junior commissioner, former DAR undersecretary.
Yes.
So yes, former DAR USEC. So very Mindanao oriented na tayo. We're a sec for Mindanao right now. Actually.
Wow.
Pwede pala kayong
change.
magkaroon ng quorum sa Davao, no?
Yes,
If
very
ever.
much so. Oo. I gusto ko nga mag-hold ng N-Bank sa Davao eh. Pero obviously that's not possible now.
Yeah.
Puros virtual din na. So it's very very comfortable ngayong composition namin kasi puros taga Davao practically, taga Mindanao, so very friendly yung very cordial kami lahat with each other. And most of us are all of us are lawyers, so very easy to get along with each other talaga. Same background kumbaga.
If I may kahit mga taga Mindanao kayo lahat, you are very very much well qualified in that and your present position that you're holding.
Thank you.
Diba?
Thank you. Much appreciated, no? Binasa mo yata resume ko eh.
Of course, syempre, kagaya ni JB Francisco, he has been with the Securities and Exchange Commission for the longest time. And yung track record ninyo in public service, di ba? Hindi naman din natin mapagkakaila yun.
Well, okay lang. I try not to it naman. On the point of Commissioner JV Francisco, he rose from the ranks, by the way, no?
Yes.
He's been with the SEC for the longest time. Actually, at this point, very few people can match his knowledge base siguro when it comes to incorporation, yung mga company registration. And I work with him extensively right now kasi we're trying to create a new company registration system with the help of some foreign grants. So very challenging. But we have to change the company registration system kasi. So, buti na lang taga Davao din siya and then deep yung knowledge base na talaga on this. Madaling kausap. So hopefully we can do that within a year nga eh. No? It's been in the works for a while. But if everything goes well, we have a completely new company registration system. It takes into consideration the revised corporation code. It takes into consideration yung mga challenges from the past company registration system. Yung mga ganon. Ang balak na sana namin fully online na, literal na fully online. Hindi yung katulad dati na we have to talaga submit and everything physically. So but let's see, no. It's still in the works kasi. We're still working out the terms of reference and the technical details. But,
extend our regards to him,
Yes, definitely. Definitely will do.
So nabanggit nyo that you are in the midst of upgrading the corporation registration system, no? And I think in the middle of all of this community quarantine, the SEC has been actively promulgating resolutions and announcements to assist the public, particularly the stakeholders of the SEC, those who are undergoing their annual compliances and other reportorial requirements to comply through online means. So kamustahin lang namin yung SEC. How is the commission, its personnel as well? How are you guys coping with the quarantine?
Well, with difficulty na rin kasi we've ordered kasi that all our staff undergo yung rapid testing and we've had a few positives, but hindi naman yata based on confirmatory test, hindi naman talaga mukhang false positives, but syempre nakakatakot din, no? That's why I think you've seen in the news, we've had to shut down the main office for a while. We also had to shut down Baguio, Tarlac, and Cebu in particular, medyo nakaka-worry, but so far we're monitoring the relatively high morale naman yung mga people. Admittedly, there are some na talagang very very medyo na rin konti. Medyo takot na rin because of everything that's happening. But generally, the people are working, the operations are continuing naman. And so far, I'm happy to say all our main operations, meaning the important operations, are continuing, meaning the company registration, yung mga monitoring, yung mga nagbabantay kami ng mga enforcement, investment scams, yung mga ganon, though that proceeds, and we still continue to have en-bank meetings. By law kasi, we're supposed to have one commission en-bank meeting, meaning, sorry, when I say en-bank meeting, no, that means that the commission, kaming 5, will meet, and then we promulgate decisions, no, whether it be administrative or legal decisions. We have to meet once a week according to law. Kami, we do it twice a week to make sure ma-cover namin lahat. No, parang yun na naging standard namin. And I'm happy to say that despite itong ECQ, GCQ, yung mga quarantine, yung mga lockdowns, things like that, we were able to continue doing this even at from the very beginning. Kasi nga, we were able to use technology, mga Zoom, mga virtual meetings, Microsoft Teams, things like that. So we still meet twice a week, we still issue out yung ano. So at the top, tuloy-tuloy lahat. No? So not an issue, at least to the SEC. So that much I'm happy to say. Nakakatuloy-tuloy pa rin kami.
Wow.
There.
It's nice to hear, that the Securities and Exchange Commission is at the forefront of utilizing technology. Di ba? For us to hear na tuloy-tuloy kayo and you've been utilizing, ano ba yung ginagamit ninyo, Zoom or Google Meet?
We've used very many, no? Kasi we hold many meetings with different people internationally din. For instance, I've used Microsoft Teams. I've used something called Blue Jeans. We tried Google Meet one time, pero medyo nagka-problema sa internet eh. But so far, the most consistent and what we use sa NBank and what we have procured is itong Zoom, the one we're using now. No? Zoom has so far proven to be more user-friendly and stable.
I see.
So, yun.
Now, regarding dito, prior pa naman nagkaroon ng community quarantine, the Securities and Exchange Commission has already been moving its registration process online. Di ba yung registration natin ng corporation? How has it been, and was it because of this community quarantine, nag-speed up ba yung adoption natin ng online registration system natin?
Well, it's been in the works eh. Kasi as soon as I got appointed last year, na-flag na sa akin yung issues of the company registration system, no? And since I supervise yung IT ng commission, syempre that was one of my priority things talaga. So I've been working on it since last year. It's just been difficult talaga getting the funding and things like that, but I think we're on the right track. So I cannot say then that na fast track kami because of the COVID. It has kasi it was already in the works even before COVID, no? But I can say, kumbaga naisip na namin and we really wanted to go in that direction even before COVID happened, even before we knew about COVID. But what I can say is that because of COVID, medyo na-add yung pressure. No? So whereas before yung timeline namin was like a year or so, syempre we're trying to make it faster na talaga na maunahan na namin na kung possible na fully online na yung company registration and all our transactions eh. No? In particular, yung we're working now na hinahabol namin online payment na kasi right now because of DOF guidelines, government guidelines, for instance, we're required to go through land bank pa yung mga ganon. Right now, meron akong pinupush na online payment na, so you could pay online na sana either through PayMaya, GCash, DragonPay, yung mga ganon, Union Bank. So kung ma-out ko na sana yun within the month, no, that would make things easier. So yung mga little initiatives like that, definitely COVID helped push that along. But these were in mind even before. That's what I can say. Kumbaga naisip na ng mga tao din namin. I've been looking at it na rin. Our chairman has also been looking at it. We're mandated kasi, Jeff, just so you're aware, nag-cite ako agad ng law, no? Section 180 kasi. No, not even e-commerce. Yung law namin, the RCC, the Revised Corporation Code. Section 180 kasi very specifically requires us to work online na kumbaga gawa kami ng electronic filing system for company registrations. So in a way we've complied because of CRS, but syempre we want to go beyond CRS kasi the company registration system. So we're trying to follow the mandates of the law na rin. Precisely why it's been top of mind yung mga digitization and things like that.
Maybe we can do the visuals. By the way, nandito rin pala si Attorney Poj. Say hi, Attorney Poj. So maybe we can do we can do a run through, Sir Poj. Maybe we can do a run through doon sa sec.gov.ph. Tama po ba?
Yeah. Yes, that is our main website. I encourage nga everyone to go there. as much as
Yes.
possible kasi everything is there. No?
Nandito
Practically
sa
everything
sir.
is there.
Tingnan po natin Kev sa share screen natin
Ayan,
para makita lang nung yung sec.gov.ph.
Yes.
Then
Now,
yung sa registration,
but
balik kayo sa home.
before that, Jeff pala, these are
Yes.
pop-ups, no? Yung mga ito, these are pop-ups.
Okay.
We order those pop-ups kasi we've noticed sometimes yung mga people, kung pagpasok nila, yung mga customers natin, papasok sila sa website, they don't always kasi look or see the latest na mga issuances namin, mga news advisories, in particular sa mga scams, yung mga ganon. Hindi kasi nila nakikita agad eh. So inutos talaga namin very specifically na dapat may press release, dapat may pop-ups na that show our most recent notices, our most recent memorandum circulars, our most recent, yung mga investment scam warnings in particular.
Yes.
So parang pagpasok nyo palang kita nyo na agad. Admittedly, there have been some people who complain na parang this is not what I want to see. I want to go straight to the memorandum circulars like that. Pero ang point kasi naman namin is we want to encourage nga that you are updated agad-agad. Once you get into the website, you see it immediately. So, yun yung current setup natin dito, no? So, yun.
So, ito yan, papasok doon sa balik natin, Sir Podge, doon, online services. Para may general idea yung Kasi actually, kahit kami, practitioners, may pumupunta sa office, tapos hindi rin nila alam na you can do it online.
Yeah. Completely understandable. Kasi ako din before I got into government, hindi ko rin masyado, na completely online na now. Which is precisely why, actually, ito din, Jeff, if I may, it's separate, it's there, the company registration is there. And in theory, kahit hindi ka lawyer, kahit hindi ka practitioner, accountant, or anything, you are encouraged to incorporate by yourself, meaning you can do this by yourself, even without the help of professionals. However, what has been my experience is that, di naman sa but usually kasi it doesn't go very well. Kasi not everyone understands the concepts of authorized capital stock, yung mga ganon. Yung mga requirements na ito pwede presidente, ito hindi pwede na treasurer, yung mga nationality requirements. So what happens is that sometimes yung pag-submission ng requirements tumatagal kasi they don't understand my problema. Hindi nila nagigets na hindi pala pwede ganon. And then when our people email them back, say you have to fix this, you have to fix that, yung iba nagagalit sa amin kasi bakit daw namin sila pinapahirapan. So I actually strongly encourage instead, ako personally, that's not the official SEC stance for right now, but I strongly encourage instead, kung mag-incorporate ka, please go through a professional na lang. No?
Yes.
Admittedly, it costs a little more kasi nga you have to go through a lawyer or an accountant, pero less headaches later on for you, the customer, for us din sa commission sa SEC kasi talagang we've gotten so many complaints na talaga na ba't ang tagal na sa amin. Then when we check the paperwork naman, we check our systems, may problema naman pala or nasa kanila pala, pending pala. So we actually nga, the chairman has been mentioning that he wants to go through something called corporate service providers. No, hindi pa to official policy, but the corporate service providers kasi, it's a Singaporean and an Australian concept. Ang nangyayari doon, the only ones who can transact with the company registrar, meaning tayo, the SEC as company registrar, if you're going to incorporate, you have to go through yung third party nga, the companies, a corporate service provider. Sila lang pwede mag-incorporate. So kumbaga, parang sa court, if you're going to go to court, you have to go through a lawyer. Same way yung concept sa ibang countries, sa Australia and Singapore. Medyo strict sila na you have to go through this provider before you can incorporate. Kasi sila nga mag-ayos ng papeles for you. No? So mas mabilis. Diba? You can literally have the company incorporated within a day or two. No? Mabilis talaga sa ibang countries. Tayo, our average kung walang problema is mga 3 days. You know? Kung may mga problema naman, issues, it takes a little longer. So hopefully nga, if matuloy yung proposal na yan, company service providers, then only lawyers who are accredited, only accountants who are accredited with the SEC as companies, corporate service providers can transact na with us. But yun nga, hindi pa namin na-debate yan, wala pa kasing formal statement. But medyo mas gusto ko nga din sana ganun. It would certainly lessen the backlog sa SEC. It would certainly quicken din the incorporation times for everyone. So, but let's see. Yes.
And I think that would be very protective of the public who uses the services of SEC, no? If you have people who are accredited talaga.
Correct. And
Mm.
ito din pala, Lester, if I may bring up din, kasi di ba we deal with investment scams, and we've had
Yes.
issues din kasi of people who incorporate just to have a vehicle para mag-investment scam, yung mga ganon. In theory, kung meron tong corporate service provider, syempre medyo mas sift na yan, mas less yung chance na yung papasok sa amin medyo alanganin, no? So
May pre-screening ka na
yes,
na
correct. May
person.
pre-screening before you even get to us. Kasi syempre, the corporate service provider, hindi niya gagawing alanganin yung license niya to operate as a corporate service provider. No? So, kung may malusot na talagang alanganin, kasi syempre, yun din ang unahin namin. We will hold them accountable first. Na bakit nyo tinulungan yung incorporation nito? Alanganin pala. Yung mga things like that. So,
May mga
but like I
sila,
said,
no?
that's future planning. Hindi pa yan official policy. No, mauna pa nga yata yung company registration system na bago. Sorry, Jeff.
Attorney Les, kung iyabang ko lang sa iyo, Attorney Lester, ito si Attorney Kelvin, siya yung Kappa Buster dati.
Oh, hindi.
Diba? Yung pinasara niyo yung Kappa. Which is good, ah. Which is good, ah. That is
yes, that was a very famous
regulations. Of course, it's the whole SEC team.
It's the whole,
of course. Pero
for the record,
the commissioners were at the forefront of that, di ba?
For the record, kasi lest I get death threats again, no? I
meron?
got death threats. Meron before because of Papa.
Talaga?
Wow. For a while we were assigned security nga. But for the record, it was chair and the rest of the commission at the time yung very strongly working against Kappa, because obviously that was obvious na investment scam talaga yon. Na sobrang alangan, Ponzi scheme and everything. 30% per month for life. That's ridiculous talaga. No, sobrang obvious talaga yun. So, we're just happy we were able to shut that down na. No? Yun lang nga, at the cost of our personal security, but so far, okay pa naman kami.
If I may share, meron po bang meron po bang mga criminal charges na
meron
against these people?
Meron, and there are warrants of arrest issued out for sino to? Si Apolinario in particular. No?
Okay.
Actually, in our heads nga, kasi nga na-file na yung mga kaso, we've moved on to other issues nga kasi there have been others who have also been, especially during COVID na naman, there have been other rackets similar to that na trying to be investment na scams na rin. Ano? Now, it's not religion though. Before kasi naging religion yung supposed cover nila na they're not an investment scam because they're a religion, they're a charity. So, syempre, we were able to break through that, no? Kasi nga, the legitimacy, obvious naman na hindi siya legitimate. Now, it's medyo Bitcoin yung
cryptocurrency.
Yun ang nagiging parang nagiging cover nila now. So, I suggest nga to the viewers, to everyone who's out there, be a little more careful when it comes to... Kasi cryptocurrencies are real, by the way. As a general rule, cryptocurrencies are a valid form of fintech that I foresee din in the future magiging big deal. Kasi for instance, I don't know if you're familiar, Facebook Libra, yung Libra na coin, that is their cryptocurrency ng Facebook. Talagang tutuloy yun from what I hear. May balak din yun So, that is the general direction of the world. But, there are people who are taking advantage of that trend and then making it seem like parang some magic thing na pasok ka na ng pera, so mayaman ka na. So there are investment scams pa rin talaga.
Pinagmumukha nilang esoteric yung yung crypto.
Yun.
So ano bang dapat tingnan ng investor before they go into these things? The certificate of regulations. Ano ba yung mga basic nila na dapat tingnan?
Two entities kasi generally govern and regulate itong mga cryptocurrencies. No, one is us, the SEC, in our capacity as the securities regulator nga, and then the second is the BSP in their capacity as the finance regulator. Cash regulator, banks regulators, payments regulators. So you have to check talaga kung incorporated properly, number one, and number two, kung may certificates of operation na grant, whether by the BSP or us. Actually, kung if they claim nga na may certificate to operate na itong mga cryptocurrencies from the SEC, hindi yan totoo Because we have the digital asset exchange offering rules, and then we have the digital asset offering rules, the DAO and the DAX rules na drafts, hindi pa lumabas. That's this year pa lang. Those rules are the ones na... So if they claim that they're already incorporated and have license from us to operate under the DAX and DAO rules, wala pa nga yung DAX and DAO rules, there's something wrong right there. So those rules will come up this year pa lang.
Pero
maraming ganon. Claiming na pwede, they have this and that permit. Pero yun nga, ang number one point naman dyan, our own DAX and DAO rules are still for public comment and then for revisions pa eh. No? The drafts are with us at the SEC eh. Kung wala pa, then that tells you something. And if they refuse to talk to us at the SEC, that also tells you something. Kasi maraming mga nito, once we flag them, suddenly mag-disappear eh. I recommend din nga that people look at our website nga, they check yung mga advisories namin. Marami kaming advisories saying this one is a scam, this one is alanganin, this one's something wrong. So that at least ma-warning ka na kaagad eh. We came out with some last week lang, yung mga ano ba yan? There was one na makulit, Crowd One, I think, if I recall correctly. Crowd One claims to be a cryptocurrency from abroad, Africa, Brazil, yung mga ganon. So and they're here.
Nigerian prince ba to, Kom?
May pagka.
Mahilig yung mga ano dyan, no?
Yung mga Nigerian royalty.
Oy, pero nothing against Nigerians.
Yes, definitely.
To be very candid, I've spoken to Nigerian regulators, yung mga counterparts ko from Nigeria. Their fintech ecosystem is very robust. Magaling sila. In Africa, sila yung medyo solid na right now, actually, na regulators. So hindi medyo medyo mali na nga yung hirit na Nigerian princes now are bad eh. Hindi na hindi na
of course we don't mean to be no. It's just it's a common meme online na Nigerian prince yung pinaka no racism intended dito no. Clarify lang natin.
So basically pag cryptocurrency ngayon, they're still not regulated kumbaga ng SEC. Now the public will have to go into it at its own risk, parang ganoon.
Yes. Correct. Kasi nga, the DAX rules dapat talaga ang magko-cover yan and the DAO rules. DAX nga stands for Digital Asset Exchange ko. So, when you have the Digital Asset Exchange, yun nga kasi yung magiging yun nga ang parang that will create like the SRO, the self-regulatory organization, parang PSE. So, parang we will be creating the market for that, but only once it's authorized by us. Hindi pa nga natin in-authorize. Wala pa nga.
Wala tayong rules.
Wala pa. Also, admittedly, marami na nag-apply initially kasi nga there is strong interest. Because yun nga, I firmly believe this is the market of the future din. No?
Kasi sa Facebook, marami ako nakikita, friends ko, parang pinapakita nila, malaki yung income nila, ganito kalaki yung increase ng investments nila. So be very, very careful sa general public when you enter into those things.
Correct.
SEC cannot, cannot protect you on these matters because it's still not regulated.
Correct. Tapos, Jeff, if I may, sabi mo yung mga ibang friends mo, may ganun, i-Viber mo nga sa akin separately or i-PM mo nga sa akin separately para
sige ko, para masilip mo.
Para masilip ko. Kasi we're very aggressive about that eh. Ayaw namin kasi talaga na kasi when they continue to operate with impunity like that na talagang hindi takot or feeling na hindi sila makita, it affects our fellow man eh, no? It affects yung mga citizens natin, yung mga investors. Matatakot mga people to invest tuloy eh.
Correct.
So we want to shut them as many as we can, if as quickly as we can sana kung pwede.
Yung integrity ng economy natin, it will further be deteriorated by this.
Ma-affect talaga yung financial system.
Especially ngayon, we're still in the middle of the pandemic and there's no immediate sign of it letting the curve being flattened is still not clear, no. But I think ang natin ngayon, Com, is you mentioned the rules are still for public comment. Maybe our viewers would want to comment, especially those na medyo techie. Is it still open for public comments or naka-public consultation pa ba tayo dun sa rules? Maybe you can invite them to comment on it or to view it.
Wait, sorry. Hindi na pala for public comment. Parang iba yata yung rules for public. But tapos na yung comment stage. We are now finalizing. Tama. We are finalizing the DAX and DAO rules. However, if you want to habol comment, then feel free. I'm sure we can still take it into consideration naman eh. No, the DAX and the DAO rules are online. They're on the SEC website. You can take a quick look at them. Medyo very complicated siya kasi nga these are the nitty-gritty details talaga eh. No, so I cannot honestly say na master ko nga din yan eh kasi mahirap talaga, no, honestly. So but yes, we very technical, very technical. It discusses what is a white paper. It discusses fiat currency, yung mga ganon, na half the stuff na medyo
very interesting.
Talaga.
Parang very academic na yung ganong.
Very. So if you send comments, I'm sure we would be happy to take a look at it pa rin naman. No? So please do. Anyway, hindi pa naman talaga nalabas eh. It has not yet been agendaed for us to rule upon as a commission. So pwede pa yan, I'm sure.
Ayan,
On
thank you,
another note, 'di ba meron na tayo yung bagong kakapasa na revised corporation code, and it introduced the one person corporation. Dati kasi 'di ba, for the knowledge of everyone, may minimum number of incorporators, 'di ba, yung 5.
Yes.
'Di ba, but now we can make 1 and
Yes.
2, 3 and 4.
Yes.
Diba? How do we go about this? Online na rin po ba ito?
Well, generally, before yung COVID, we had to make it manual, meaning you had to physically file at our main offices and our extension offices in Baguio, Davao, and Tarlac, and everywhere else. Pero very simple lang yung requirements kasi one-person corporation lang sana. No? Isang tao lang, simple lang dapat eh. You just submit it and yun na yun, yung mga articles. But now, because of the fact na may COVID din, our IT department, which I supervise, was able to create, with the help of the company registration department, a website to allow you to do initial incorporation for 1, 2, 3, or 4-person corporations. So pwede yun. I just can't dictate to you the website kasi ang haba pa ng website.
Pero nasa
Sorry,
sec.gov.com, tama ba?
Yes. Pwede mo mahanap mo pa rin doon. We actually made an announcement to that effect, so you can file yung mga one-person corporation na applications online na rin. Yes. So pwede na rin doon.
Baka pwede nating masilip, Sir Podge. Tingnan natin doon sa sa share screen natin.
I can send you the link mamaya.
Yan.
That's the link.
Yan, pinadala mo ko.
Ayan. That's the link.
CRMD.
Sorry,
under,
doon sa https
okay.
/APPS004. That is the .sec.gov. That is the website for the 1, 2, 3, 4 na corporations. No? Separate yan from the company registration system we're currently using. No? So in theory, this is the simpler version, meaning mas mabilis dapat dito, but you still have to submit the hard copies later on. No? But later on na yan, at least you can start the process na. Kasi don't forget, when this COVID thing happened, hindi pa natin na-expect na talagang almost zero transactions tayo na manual na physical na dapat. No, but we are trying to go in that direction. We just need a little more time, honestly. No, so but at least meron na tayo, mas-start na tayo there. I encourage nga people to try the OPC. It's better ang OPC, the one-person corporation, than the single proprietorship, in my opinion. But you can ask your lawyers, no? Sabihin nyo na lang sa clients nyo.
Pero of course, syempre, yung pertaining to liability, di ba, compared sa sole proprietorship, yung protected yung liability mo pag OPC, pag corporation ka, limited lang yung liability mo based on your capitalization. Unlike kung sole proprietorship, yun yung number 1 talaga eh. Sole proprietorship, damay na lahat kung anong meron ka.
Correct.
So it's quite better talaga. Then, and the revised corporation code with the introduction of this OPC makes it easier for the general public, for Filipinos, to own and be the president of their own corporation.
Correct. But ano lang pala, Jeff, no? I should mention, I mentioned this in my speeches then when it comes to OPC and the revised corporation code. Even though the OPC, very easy na to create one, and it's similar to sole proprietorship na, in the sense na isang tao lang, boss ka na talaga, you handle your own corporation. Take note that we have marami kasing reportorial requirements ang corporation. So that's something people have to take into consideration pa rin. Once again, dito na naman papasok yung mga professionals, yung mga lawyers, yung mga accountants. You have to advise your clients na kahit mas maganda yung OPC, please be aware na every year mag-file kayo ng AFS, audited financial statements, yung mga GIS, general information sheet, di ba? Kasi there are no similar requirements sa DTI yung mga sole prop eh.
Yes.
No? So but here meron tayong mga ganun, and medyo importante yung requirements na yan. We can revoke a corporation if hindi nagpa-file for a specific amount of time. So bantayan niyo na lang din. But I'm sure you advise your clients that, no, para sure kayo.
But if I may these reportorial requirements are in line with our trust of transparency in governance.
Yes.
So, di ba? So for us to submit all these reports, di ba? Transparency as good governance, kumbaga, in line with the trust of the present administration.
Correct. And not only that, Jeff, kasi it also comes into the fact that we operate under a concept called risk-based supervision. No, that means that the risks are transparent. All the data is made publicly available so that people can invest, and we would supervise them based on the risks involved. So makikita mo based on transparent data whether or not this is problematic, ito may problema, ito hindi. And that is where it comes in. These reports help us determine which one might be a risk, which one might be a problem, no? Through transparency. So talagang kailangan 'yan. mandated by law, and it is a worldwide standard. Everyone is, if it's a corporation, talagang standard na ipa-file mo a form of yearly reportorial requirement.
And I think that's also in line with the good governance practices being encouraged by the SEC. Tama po ba?
Correct. Our corporate governance practices, correct. Part of the requirement nga to make everything as open as possible so that people, the investing public, can invest properly. They are able to make proper decisions, investments. Kasi nga makita nila lahat, malapag lahat. Makita mo, this person owns this much. This corporation operates like this. This is what this corporation does. These are the financials of this corporation. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So this OPC perpetual din ito.
Yes. Correct.
Nice.
Perpetual na nga. Sorry, I thought that was standard na, no? I forget, baka not everyone knows. But yes, you're correct. I presume mga lawyers know that na under the revised corporation code, all corporations now existing at the time of the promulgation of the revised corporation code last year, mga Feb 26, 27 last year, automatic na, permanent na siya, perpetual na. Dito nga po pasok yan, joke palagi ng wife that I tell my wife, and this annoys her all the time. Yun nga, love may not be forever, however, corporations are now forever. So medyo ano lang talaga.
For purposes yung mga nakapag-incorporate na before the revised corporation code, are they automatic na ba maging perpetual rin ba sila? Or do they need to do something?
No, if existing, automatic sila. When I say existing, meaning hindi sila pina-suspend, hindi sila pina-revoke ng incorporation nila before the company, so before the revised corporation code. Automatic, they are deemed a perpetual corporation. But there is a 2-year transition period pala, Jeff, no? Kung alanganin ka, meaning you don't want to be forever yung corporation mo. You want it to have a term pa rin. The old term was 50 years, no, under the old corporation.
Correct.
You want to have a term pa rin. You have to formally inform the SEC within 2 years from the promulgation of the revised corporation code. So you have till February 2021 to inform us, no, na ayaw mong maging forever na corporation. Also, I don't quite, I honestly, I'm not sure who would want to do that, pero well, at least the option is there. Or for some reason, ayaw mo forever ka. No?
So they did not need to revise or amend their existing articles of incorporation. Automatic na siya.
No, automatic na yun.
Nice. And for purposes kasi reality na yung community quarantine, maraming mga nagsarang mga businesses, marami ring nagsarang mga corporations, hindi na nag-ooperate. Yun kasi minsan nakakalimutan natin when we go to the lawyers, we ask for the incorporation, but when we stop doing the business, we forget to retire or dissolve these corporations. Pero, di ba? Parang nakakalimutan yan. Hindi natin di-discuss ano yung mga impacts, ano yung repercussions niyan if we fail to properly dissolve the corporation.
Well,
maybe you can comment on that.
Sige, if you are unclear or unsure na kung kaya niyo na matuloy yung viability of the corporation, then obviously you can have it shut down, no?
Yes.
Usually three-step process yan. You have to go through the you have to go through the BIR, you have to go through the LGU, the local government unit, no? I-close niyo muna sa Business Bureau, and then you also have to go through us at the SEC. Usually medyo pa last step na kami, no? Yung SEC for dissolution. And tatlo yung methods niyan. You go through voluntary dissolution under Section 134 yata, 133 of the Revised Corporation Code. Voluntary meaning kusa mo that you want to shut down your corporation na. And then there's the voluntary with creditors, meaning may utang ka pa pala, so you have to shut down, but you have to figure out a way to pay these creditors. You still file it with us. And then the third nga, kung wala na masyadong problema, the easiest, and I'm sure this is the trick most lawyers use, is yung dissolve mo nga by shortening the corporate term, no? Ipa-expire mo na lang, o i-amend mo na lang, tapos pa-expire mo na lang. That seems to be the standard one. If you're unsure na nga, once again, about the viability of your corporation, then you best file na with the appropriate agencies. Kasi for instance, BIR penalizes it. If you are not considered a dissolved or a shutdown na corporation, then syempre, tuloy na tuloy magsingil and mag-demand ng taxes si BIR kahit na it seems like hindi ka na nag-ooperate. On our end naman, syempre, we will penalize you then later on kasi it's gonna look like hindi ka nag-file ng reportorial requirements. Tuloy-tuloy ka pa na nag-ooperate. Even more so now, di ba? Kasi nga, perpetual na ang mga corporations. So if you don't make the effort na i-dissolve mo yung corporation mo, then for the next 100 years, deemed ano
penalty
lang yan.
ka.
So, penalty ka lang ng penalty. Also,
Takbo lang yung metro sa
admittedly,
penalty.
di ba? Ubos ka na agad.
Parang taxi lang, no?
Parang even worse actually kasi mas malaki. But pero admittedly on our end pala, may balak din kami to clean up, no, every so often, na parang if mukhang hindi nag-ooperate this corporation for a certain amount of time, hindi nagpo-file ng GIS, we still intend to revoke and dissolve on our own, no. But that's for later on kasi nga hindi pa kami clear on the policies as to that kasi nga bago yung perpetual term na thing na yan. So we're still sorting out the policy as to that. But in my head, dapat we still remove some, eh. No, I'm sure the chairman namin would want to go in that direction din para mag-clean up lang din talaga kami. Kasi otherwise, we're gonna have so many corporations na hindi na nag-ooperate but yet are still in our records. Eh.
Do you have data on that? How many corporations are actually registered in the Philippines?
Yung last ko was a couple of 100,000 na talagang operating, ha. Hindi ko lang maalala exactly right now. That was in one of my briefing sheets before, but a couple of 100,000 talaga is are what we do have that are really operating. More pa yan if you include the ones na parang alanganin. Meaning they incorporated but didn't really operate. Yes.
Yeah. Maiba lang ako ng ano, no. I mean, we've been in the community quarantine for the past 2-3 months. During that time, has the SEC received any applications for the closure of businesses na, or I think kasi the labor code naman allows a maximum of 6 months na temporary closure, right? So but from an SEC perspective right now sa data, kamusta po ba yung ating mga corporations, mga entities natin doing business? Have you heard of, I mean, a lot of our analysts are painting a not so good picture of the economy until the end of the year, no? But from SEC, ano po yung ating ano yung data na nakikita natin sa SEC? Hindi naman ganun karami ba ang nagsasara?
Fairly minimal pa kasi don't forget, we are the last stop kasi generally. Usually nag-uuna sila sa BIR, sa LGU before they come to us. What we have been dealing with more are, and this shows how medyo optimistic pa rin yung mga people. What we have been dealing with is constant complaints of people coming to us wanting to incorporate. Pero yun nga, we try not to make people go na kasi physically sa office. So meron pa rin ganun. Marami pang they want to come, they want to comply, they want to incorporate. Kailan ba kayo magbubukas? Kasi nga gusto ko mag-incorporate ng maayos. I want to submit the formal hard copy na. No? Kasi tapos na sila sa online side. I want to pay na, yung mga ganun. So that shows us that admittedly, my issues, my problems tayo later on, I think because of the downturn in the what's looking like a possible downturn in the economy, we're not sure pa naman din, no? But there is some positivity because what we are feeling more the pressure of people who want to incorporate rather than the people who are coming to us to dissolve their corporations. In fact, and if I can tell you this, there are very many bonds pa rin, no, na applications, for instance, separate from incorporation na. Yung mga bonds, yung mga corporate bonds na applications, consistent yan, marami pa rin. And then I'm sure you've seen the news, yung mga may bagong application for IPO na naman. Di ba? Yung the other Dennis Uy of Pampanga
Converge.
Yeah. Converge. Oh, yun. Yes. See? So parang that shows that there is still some market sentiment. There is still some strong economic sentiment, no, na optimistic naman. So whether or not what will happen in the next few months, syempre that's beyond me. Mga forecasting of economics is beyond me na, no. But from where I'm sitting, it seems like there is some positive news, there is some optimism in the market and in the business sector. So,
that's very good to hear, Com.
That's something to look forward to.
Yes.
So, Com, if I may ask further, ano po ba yung how does SEC respond to the COVID crisis, and what are our future steps and future actions of the Commission in response to this global pandemic?
Well, we have issued a lot of memorandum circulars effectively and notices. Effectively, we've been extending yung mga deadlines namin. For instance, yung mga GIS, yung General Information Sheets, they were all supposed to have been due already 30 days from your last stockholders meeting. No? What we've done recently is you can file it na lang online, you can email it, and then yung hard copies to follow na lang 30 days from opening of from becoming GCQ, for instance. Yung audited financial statements naman, ginawa naming number coding scheme na lang. You can file them later on following the number coding scheme. So extend kami extend. Maraming deadlines extend. Annual reports nga for publicly listed corporations na extend. Sustainability reports naman na required also for publicly listed corporation na extend na rin. Kung pwede lang nga, ako lang nga, I want nga sana end of the year na yung deadline ng lahat. But the problem nga, because of the way we conduct our capital markets, meaning all the data has to be transparent, hindi kasi pwede na until the end of the year walang data. So the information still has to be submitted talaga to us. So yun, that's one in relation to COVID. Tuloy-tuloy yan. Future planning naman, I mentioned kanina, yung possible incoming bagong company registration system. We also have some new memorandum circulars coming out, separate from the DAX and the DAO rules I mentioned. I don't know if you're familiar with mga corporate inspection, yung mga inspection of corporate documents. That's under the revised corporation code kasi that power is lodged within us na rin. We can order inspection of corporate books na rin yung mga access. So we have a draft rules coming out for that. We also have new draft rules din, memorandum circular na requiring everyone na kung mag-file ka sa amin ng incorporation papers, or if you're going to transact with the SEC, dapat by email na. Kasi what has been done nga by some of the people, they go through physical, manual pa rin. Gusto nilang physical manual filing. Siguro hindi sanay nga sa online. So that's why there's some people pa rin sa PICC. Now, under that memorandum circular, we're discouraging that na kung as much as possible talaga email na kung pwede. Those are some of our Before, isang plano din sana namin, Jeff, maggawa kami ng building dito for the SEC, but in light of the secretary, in light of the secretary and the president's mandate na cut cost muna tayo and to minimize things, no major infrastructure projects, so wala muna siguro. No major buildings pala, no major infrastructure pa. So yun, wala muna.
Yung Ortigas pala niyo, anong status nun?
It's there. It's condemned. We can't really use it, so medyo careful kami. But because of difficulty in access, we've been using the ground floor as a cashier, but we are very careful about it. Pinasecure muna namin. Pwede naman daw yung ground floor, yung sa medyo palabas na. So as a cashier, but we try not to let anyone go to the upper floors kasi medyo.
It's for demolition.
We want to, kasi that was where we wanted to build the new building sana. That was one of the options. Pero right now, as is muna yan, I guess, we're just not using it talaga. We can't. It's too dangerous to have people there talaga all the time. Medyo pag ganun na talaga yung floors. Medyo,
bumigay?
Medyo konti na lang bibigay na yata. Medyo, we don't want people there if we don't have to. So.
How about ito, for the last segment natin, for your personal future plans? What can we expect from Commissioner Kelvin Lee?
Wala, I'll finish by law kasi commissioners have a term, 7-year term. But tama kasi my seat is I'm taking over for someone lang kasi, So I have a shorter term. I finish mga sometime shortly after the president steps down. So siguro like the president, when he's done, uwi siya Davao. Ako po siguro mag-uli na pug Davao. Wait, hirap din. It turns out government service is hard. So
thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you, Com.
Attorney Lester, may tanong ka pa kay Com Kelvin?
So far, okay na. Thank you very much again,
right.
Com Kelvin. And thank you also to Agora Direct PH Davao, our sponsor for this episode of Abogadong Dabawenyo. Com Kelvin, we just wish to say that we wish you and the rest of the commission and its personnel well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we admire your work. We thank you for your service, and we of course will keep ourselves updated with the SEC website updates.
Com Kelvin, any final message?
Thank you for having us here. Please rest assured that the SEC, despite the difficulties now, we're doing our best to watch over the capital markets, to help with the registration of yung mga companies, and also to watch out for investment scams. So we're continuing to work despite all the difficulties. On a personal note, I would just like very quickly to say hi to my wife. I don't know if she's watching. si Dot, and to my kids who should be graduating from an e-recital right now. That's a thing, by the way, now, Jeff.
Congratulations.
That's a thing now, by the way, Jeff, Lester, no, yung electronic recital. Ganun na pala yung uso ngayon.
Ganun na ngayon.
They do these ballet, dances, singing, whatever, online na talaga yung ano. So it's completely new concept. Ako rin nabaguhan, but you adjust to the times, no? Sige. So I guess that's it. Thank you guys, no, for having me over, no, virtually.
Well,
So,
for
thank
me,
you.
Kelvin, thank you very much. We're very much proud for our Abogadong Dabawenyo, who is an SEC commissioner,
Yeah.
with other Mindanaoans commissioner. Very dynamic and energetic itong commission ninyo ngayon. Composed kayo mostly of millennials, no? Millennials na mga Mindanaoans. And yabang ko nga din Sir, yung sabi mo nga, usually dun sa processing. Dati kay ComJV dati, it takes me 2 days for the registration of a corporation. Ganun ka-efficient si ComJV dati dito sa Davao City. So as well, I would like to also say hi to Attorney Paula and Attorney Ina, yung nandito dito sa SEC Davao Com. They're also watching and they're cheering for you. And thank you very much, Securities and Exchange Commission. You've been at the forefront in the fight against the scams. And hopefully you'll continue to regulate and be a regulatory agency to encourage Dabawenyos, Filipinos to incorporate and be part of the economic system in our country. So that ends our program for tonight. Abogadong Dabawenyo, thank you very much and good night. Salamat po, Kev.
Okay.
Salamat
Thank
po.
you, Com.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me over. So